Hi, I'm Chris Gasper, and this is Globe 10.0, joined today by Amalie Benjamin. Well, John Lackey became something of a lightning rod over the weekend in Cleveland. A report had him taking 2 beers in each hand and another in his pocket and walking around the road clubhouse out there in Cleveland. Obviously, that didn't go over too well based on what happened last September, but was too much being made of this, Amalie? And it begs the other question, why is Lackey on the road to even be involved in this?
I think there are a lot of issues here. I think you have to break it down. I think starting with why Lackey is on the road. You know, we spent a lot of time criticizing Jacoby Ellsbury for not being on the road. So I don't fault Lackey for being on the road at some points. I don't fault him for wanting to be with the team. He's an affable guy. He's a guy who is very popular in that clubhouse. Even though not so much with the media, he's very popular with his teammates. And so I don't fault him for wanting to be on the road. The question is, does he need to be on the road every game?
Absolutely
all the
not.
time?
That doesn't make any sense to me for him to be on the road. To me, that says you're doing it as much for social reasons as rehabilitation reasons. I mean, you covered the team. Was it normal for a guy who wasn't going to play at all during the year to go on every single road trip? I mean, that doesn't seem normal to me, but
I think you sort of have the extremes. You have maybe Ellsbury in one extreme, who was never with the team and always in Arizona, and really didn't make that connection with his teammates. You have sort of the other extreme, which is Lackey, who was always around. And I think usually guys are somewhere in between.
But it's not like they almost pass it off like, well, what do you expect? He can't do his rehab unless he's on every road trip. I don't think that's the case. I'm sure that not every single member of this team's medical staff goes on every road trip. Like, there's nobody at Fenway. If you stay behind, there's nobody to help you. You're just on your own with rehab.
You are actually most of the rehabilitation staff does come on the road with the team. That being said, you could find people to do your rehab anywhere you want, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Boston, whether it's Southern California, wherever. So I think maybe the best thing for Lackey would be to have some sort of combination of those two. Sometime with the team, sometime without the team rehabbing. I do respect him wanting to be around his teammates and wanting to be with that major league staff, but maybe there are some limits.
Yeah, maybe. I just feel like, look, Lackey is liked by his teammates, and that's great, and I appreciate that. But to me, on this team, I don't think you need a guy around every single road trip who doesn't have the same stake in the season that everybody else does, because he doesn't have to roll out of bed the next day and go out and perform. He's not going to pitch this year. But look, the Red Sox have much bigger problems than John Lackey being on the road. That's not why they are where they are. So this whole thing, probably a little overblown.